Today is Constitution Day, the day we celebrate the adoption of the Constitution of the United States. Perhaps you do not know that our Constitution is the oldest Constitution in use today. This is a testament to the wisdom of our founders who crafted it. The Constitution was not written just to delineate how the government was to be structured and run. It was a document, a contract between the states and the people, which gave only so much power to the federal government and no more. It was a limiting document, limiting the power of the government. We the people begins the document. The power comes from the people. The people granted only so much power to the government, and this is spelled out in great detail as to what the federal government may do or not do with the remaining powers resting with the people or the states. Of course, the Constitution almost immediately included the Bill of Rights. Many at the time were very apprehensive about the original construction of the Constitution. With just having overthrown the British government, they feared the possible reintroduction of too much government power. They also knew the nature of government, that government always assumes more power over time to the detriment of the liberty of the people. It may start off well, but over time government assumes too much power. This is why it was necessary that they had the proper checks and balances. It enforced the proper limitations on how the federal government would operate. At the time, it was not only the people who were concerned, it was also the state governments who were concerned. The very name of our country denotes the system of government that we have, the United States. A system of states united as a federal government, not a central government, not a national government, but a government of states united. When the country was founded, the states were independent and sovereign. They were never a homogeneous country. Today, we think more and more as being a country rather than independent states together for the common defense. We have come to think that the definition of the word state means some part of the whole, a subdivision of the country. The definition of the word state has been lost. It means a country, a nation. When the Treaty of Paris of 1783 was signed by King George of Great Britain, the treaty listed the independent and sovereign countries that comprised the combined forces of America that had fought and won the war for independence. The original 13 colonies were separate countries as colonies. Even the Declaration of Independence indicates that while they stood together, the states were independent. It states, quote, "As free and independent states, they have the full power which independent states may of right do." So the Constitution was simply uniting these independent states, and they were not about to give up their powers to a central government. They wanted the powers delegated to the federal government to be precise and limited. This is what our Constitution did. The Congress of the United States was structured to ensure that the states could block adverse bills which eroded the powers of the states with a Senate, which represented the state governments. Regrettably, this was changed with the adoption of the 17th Amendment, where the senators were elected by the people rather than the state governments. The Constitution limited the federal government from passing laws that limited the rights of the people and the states, ending the Bill of Rights by saying that, quote, "The powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited by it to the states, are reserved to the states respectively or to the people." In other words, if we forgot to mention anything, you can't do that either. As a result of this form of government and the restrictions placed on government, the people were free to pursue their lives and fortunes in freedom without restriction. Over time, this has changed a great deal because the people are now too ignorant of their rights. It is time to restore this knowledge among the people and educate ourselves and others as to the nature of the Constitution and see that people stand up for their rights as free Americans. If we do not, we will go the route of so many in the past who have lost their liberty. The United States is the only thing that stands in the way of the entire world going into darkness. We see today that too many people feel that they have a right to burn down their cities and try and force communism on the people. Part of opposing these actions is for more and more people understanding their rights and the Constitution, and pressuring our local governments to adhere to the basic rights of the people, such as property rights. We are asking you to obtain the series, The Constitution is the Solution. Watch this series, and then get others to watch it as well by inviting them into your home or public meeting room over a period of weeks to see it. After they've come to realize what they were not taught in our modern education system, start to organize them to be active in your community, to save your community. This can be accomplished by involvement in local community organizations. The best means, however, is to organize a chapter of the John Birch Society to involve more people into effective action. If you do not do it, if they do not do it, who will? After all, it is really up to you.